Hello and welcome to today's session entitled Freezing Orders, Top Tips and Tactics for Utilising this Ultimate Enforcement Option. So the clue is very much in the title, and over the next hour or so we're going to be working our way through the entire freezing order process from beginning to end and looking at the various procedures that are vital to ensure success when using this really important method of enforcement for your clients. So briefly, and just before we begin, a little bit about me. So my name is Christine Bousfield, and I am a partner and head of debt recovery at a firm called Travlaw. So we're a travel niche specialist law firm based just outside of Leeds. So my day-to-day role, I am a litigation and debt recovery specialist. And whilst the vast majority of my clients are from within the travel industry, so a lot of tour operators, airlines, hotels, that sort of thing, a lot of my workload surrounds debt recovery and enforcement. And as you can imagine, over the last few years, the travel industry has needed a lot of assistance and legal guidance in the debt recovery field. So today's agenda, okay, so what are we going to be talking about today? Well, first and foremost, we'll look at what is a freezing order, and really importantly, what is it not, okay? So when can this method of enforcement be used? When should it be used? And what hurdles do we have to overcome for it to be successful? Really important when we come to debt recovery options, as I'll kind of repeat as we go through, there's never only one option. Okay, there's a variety of options available. So really important to consider those as well. And then when might a freezing order be most suitable? We'll then move on and look at pre-action consideration and requirements. Again, a really, really important area. So what do we need to be advising our clients of? Okay, what kind of steps do we need to take in advance before we jump onto applying for any sort of freezing order? It can be expensive and, of course, time consuming if we get this wrong. So what do we have to think about in advance? We'll then move on to the freezing order process itself. Okay, and the legal test that will be imposed by the courts. So what requirements do we have to meet? What are the guidelines? How do we do that to ensure that if we do go down this road, we're likely to be successful? Cost implications then, obviously a vitally important point. So what are the potential cost implications on both parties? Again, these can be very significant when dealing with freezing orders, and so very important that your client is fully informed and aware of these in advance and of the potential implications upon them. As the name of the course suggests, a freezing order really is the ultimate enforcement option. It has so much weight and repercussions behind it if it's granted. So cost implications, can go both ways, and we'll look at those thoroughly. And finally then, as we go through, we'll look at relevant and recent case law updates, which we will mention, as I say, as we go throughout the CPR as well, what pieces of legislation should be guiding us through this process.